We about to bloom like a April. Hold me down like a capo. In the middle of the room, I saw you. In the middle of the
Hi. Welcome to Delicate Dark Girl. 22, day 22 of my 30 days shorts campaign. And I feel like sometimes, right, I have my cards out. This is the deck that is the week's theme. Actually, this is the theme, and then this is really the concept. This is the concept, and then there's an underlying theme. So, like the first week, it was more about story, colors, expressing through the eyes. Then I got into like doll makeup. That was last week. This week, I would do, because that card, this book of tarot, it takes the tarot cards like Nine of Cups and stuff, and then it bases them on various indigenous folk tales and belief system characters. And so I was thinking that my theme could be the popular makeup from each place that the card based themselves on, and then use points of the card as the colors that I would use. So that was the general idea. But I'm feeling like, while I do want to do that, it feels like sometimes you have to know when to call it. And I think I'm calling it. I really wanted to do the whole 30 days because I've done this before, but it was closer to the beginning of my channel, and I did 30 days of whole videos. It wasn't shorts, but that was just how I kind of broke into, it was like a campaign, you know, like I just broke into you know, what I was doing with these kinds of like projects. I always like take a project so that I can kind of reset myself into a working mode, so to speak. I don't know how else to explain it, except like I'll do some sort of project basically to refresh my brain. Honestly, like this gives me it gave me a lot of challenge. Some looks were better than others, obviously, but I was having fun doing them. I was having fun really challenging my mind to come up with, like, you know, some of these very simple things, but like, you know, makeup isn't my artistic medium. Writing is. So anytime I get to basically dabble in other artistries without the pressure or expectations of the professional world like I do with writing, it's a release, and it helps me honestly expand, you know, like it just expands my creativity. Like putting myself with the project and having deadlines and stuff like that, it helps me expand my creativity. It really helps flex those muscles. So it's really inspired me with my writing and everything, and I've been pumping out these videos, and it felt really good to be able to be doing an active project. I do love active projects, but I think I'm in a point in my life now where I've realized that I don't have to be so dogged about all of my projects. I am someone who likes to see things through to completion, hell or high water. And while that's a good thing in general, especially because like I'm running a business, you know, with me and my sister and stuff, and so we like to keep things very serious when it comes to the business, like deadlines and stuff and finishing projects, all of that. It's very important. You can't just blow that stuff off. But I also need to realize that everything is not my business, and it's okay for me to put the pause on it, you know, when I feel like it's time. It's not about it stressing me out. It's not about it's hindering me. It's not about I can't think of anything else to do. It's really just sometimes you can feel it in your bones that it's time, but your brain is telling you, you said you were going to do this though. And that's the one thing I'm like, I did say I was going to do 30 days. And it's not going to be 30 days. It's not going to be 30 days. Yesterday was the last day. Although I do like this concept that I came up with for this week, and I had already pulled the 7 cards. We had King of Cups, and you know what? I'm not about to go through all these, but basically it's the Tarot of the Divine by this person, Yoshitani. And I think the artwork is great. I was debating between these two today. Hold on, where is it? 9 of Cups. It was gonna be either Wheel of Fortune featuring Anansi or 9 of Cups. And I was more leaning towards this, but I did pick this one up organically first. But when I flipped them all over, I saw this one and wanted to do that first. So this was the battle for today. And I was honestly kind of excited about the idea of doing this like regional makeup for each of these cards, because the creator puts the, like, let me show you an example, like 9 of Cups. So that's 9 of Cups, and it's an Arabic folktale from Iran. So I would have tried to pick like popular makeup. I would have had to use social media, obviously, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I would have definitely gone and kind of tried to get a consensus of what popular Iranian makeup is right now in today's day and age. And the other thing was to do historical makeup, but I was like, that's gonna take like weeks of research. I'm not about to rush that kind of research. So, but this one, you can rush it a little bit because social media lets you. You can scroll through a bunch of things and get a general consensus. So I would have put a disclaimer like, according to the internet, according to things I found. I'm giving you all this big talk about what I was gonna do, but it's not gonna happen. The reason why I'm giving you all this big talk about it is because I actually really like that idea. And even though I'm cutting the shorts project today, that's why you're seeing this video instead of a short, I think I'm actually still going to do this 7 days at a separate time. The campaign was to open my mind as to what to do on YouTube Shorts for Delicate Dark Girl, because I felt like Delicate Dark Girl is the channel where shorts would be more fun. And so I was thinking, one, I would do my avatar makeup, Make Me Up, the avatar makeup series, where I have somebody tell me what to put on my face. I only have 1 episode of that right now because me and my sister no longer live in the same place. Yeah, so this right here, I'm in a different place in my life, and I feel like my mind is telling me, don't get so caught up in this. Like, you don't have to be so dogged about it. I think you've done what you came to do, and you can stop now. That's what I was telling myself. And we're gonna close that chapter. And we're gonna get into the makeup look that I wanted to do, that I've been thinking about all weekend. I feel like I should make a short saying goodbye. Like, I don't want to just stop it and people are like, oh, she can't even finish what she said she was going to finish. And here's the thing about that. That was another reason why I was so hesitant on not finishing. Even though I feel in my, you know, you feel in your chest, it's like, all right, enough. I was like, I don't want people to think that, you know, I don't, you know, follow through. But the thing is, I did follow through, and I'm choosing to halt this right now because it's over. You know, it's not. And then I was wondering, like, why are you so obsessed with optics? You're doing, what, things to appease people that you've made up in your head, basically? Because I'm like, this problem is made up in my head. Like, no one's going to care that much. I'm not a publicly broadcasting station, and even if I was, series get canceled all the time. But anyway, yeah. So I told myself to not get so obsessed with optics and trying to prove that you're not something, instead of just showing people who you are. And sometimes that does mean following through when you don't feel like it. But that also means, like today's instance, where it's me knowing when to stop, even though I don't feel like it. Like I feel it's time to stop, but I'm personally, like business wise, public wise, I'm feeling you need to stop. But personally, I really want to do that series. Like this is killing me, killing me. But I know why it's killing me, and it's not the right reasons for me to continue. You see what I'm saying? Like again, because it's about optics, and this whole project was about me expanding my creativity, and I gave myself the days of 30 days because that's just how I do things. I just always do things in a month cycle, like a month, because some months are 28 days, right? Some months are 31 days. But anyway, so I try to do things in a cycle, generally 30 days. I always be like, give myself 30 days to do whatever the hell. So that's why it was 30 days, but I've made it to 22 and I'm still feeling like eyebrows done. Look what happens when I don't pay that much attention. These aren't bad. These aren't bad today. They look just regular and full. The ends of my eyebrows be killing me. I'm debating shaving them off, but I feel like that's the weirdest thing you can do when you don't know what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like shaving your eyebrows is for people who mean serious business and know what they're doing with their eyebrows. Like they have a plan and a look, and I don't have either. So I don't think I should be that reckless. I should just stick with my eyebrows and just learn how to shape them the best. My focus on shaping my eyebrows used to be these ends. Like as long as the end was tapered, I was good. But now it just feels more like that curve at the front. Like I want them, like that curve at the front is the most important thing to me right now in this stage of my makeup life. How was your weekend, everybody? Oh, because I cleaned my brushes this morning. At least some of them. I cleaned a set of brushes, like my most used set of brushes, and they're still kind of wet, so I'm gonna have to use some other brushes. I really only need like 2 brushes for what I'm about to do. It's very simple, but this is my collection. You know what? I'm gonna do a video of my favorite brushes because I feel like other amateurs or people just casually and very heavily into makeup but without like any of the skill and technique knowledge, I think we have a different set of things that we're looking for and things that we're looking to do. When you're someone, if you're like me and you've been doing your own makeup for a while but you're not a professional, you're not someone who is overly concerned about technique. I think you can get the gist of that from seeing this channel. You're not overly concerned about technique because you're only doing makeup on your own face. And you're just doing the things you want to do on your face. But these things help me create those things. Even the more ambitious things that turn out really well are created with these brushes. And so, in between eyebrow and this very short eye look that I'm about to do, I'm gonna talk to you about it. I'm gonna go in. I'll start with everything that's a double or more. So Eco Tools. These are actually the first makeup brushes that I started using when I started using real makeup tools and not limiting myself to only using my fingers and these sponges, the sponge applicator tips that came inside like my dollar store palettes. Like I had this one dollar store palette that had 6 shades in it and I just used it to death, but it came with a little sponge applicator, and that's really all I would use back in the day. I used to put my makeup in like 3 vertical colors all the time. I would mix and match what the colors were sometimes, but like 3 verticals. I put one color here, one color here, one color here. That was my look all the time. So But yeah, when I started using actual brushes, they were Eco Tools, and my sister slash manager slash business partner gave them to me. These aren't the same ones because those they're so old, and the tops kind of came off. These are newer versions of those. But I have never looked back. One, I love them, especially in the beginning of using brushes, because they were double-ended, so I didn't have to keep switching between a lot of brushes and getting too confused. I felt like they came with the ends that were most useful together. I'm gonna just tell you what I use them for. I'm not gonna tell you what the brush is. I tell you what I use them for, so that's the disclaimer. Okay, so I use this end as like a blending tool, and then this end as a stippling tool when I want to put color or a packed like shimmer with bigger glitter pieces, or even just a regular shimmer if I want to get it in the corner, any colors on the waterline and stuff. I use this because it's really dense and pointed, not pointed like this, but you know, just like really dense, and it's got like a particular aim where you can really get stuff on there. It's really good for that for me. This other brush is one a regular eyeshadow brush. I use this to just put eyeshadow on my eye. So not when it's blending, not if I want to pack something tightly or anything like that. Like if I'm trying to go like this, if this is the motion I'm going after, or this is the motion I'm going after, which I do a lot, this is the brush for me. And then this side, I used to use these sides to do my eyebrows, especially if I'm using an eyebrow powder or something like that. I'll use this a lot. But now I've been using it more for like under my eye, like that. So if I'm gonna put any kind of like lighter color under there to highlight, and I'm not using my stick or something like that, I don't use it for my eyebrows anymore. I used to also use things like this for putting on eyeliner, and I would squish this part like that so it would make it real tight at the end, and I would use it to do eyeliner again when I was using shadow as eyeliner. So that's what I use those for. If I ever want to do darker eyebrows or really get that edge together, I still use the end of this slanted point to do so. Next up is all my e.l.f. brushes, and each one of them is labeled. This is also one of the earliest brands of brushes that I bought. One, because they were nice and cheap. They were like $3 and they didn't fall apart ever, and they still don't. And I think they're still $3 or $5. I can't remember how much they are, but they haven't gone into the double digits yet. They have what they're for on them. So you have eyeshadow brush, concealer brush, eyeshadow brush. Boop. So this is the one that says eyeshadow, and that's exactly what I use it for. I use this for eyeshadow. Again, this one's more if I'm gonna pack something on the lid, just because of its shape. This is the one labeled concealer brush, and I use it exactly as that. In these shorts, I've been using it to help me cut a crease. I definitely used to use it as a concealer for my eyebrows. That was a good one for doing under the eye, and then my edge, you know, that I used to taper. Anyway, this is another one, eyeshadow brush again, and it's basically the same concept as the other one, but it's a little wider. I think this is the older version of this one because it appears a little wider. This is the one I think is the older version at the edge by maybe a couple, just like a couple millimeters. Is that just me? Basically, I use it the same way as I use the other one. I use it to pack on matte shadows or blend in the crease and stuff. But I have two simply because I wanted to use one for darker shadows and one for lighter shadows. And then the last three are basically like big fluffy brushes. This one's from Juvia's Place. This one's from someplace I can't remember, but I'm going to try to find that video so I can put it here and tell you what it is. If I didn't, sorry. And then this one was some random brand from Amazon that I bought a couple years back called, what was it? Sagapo. S''Agapo. And I really liked their brushes, actually. They were a lot of fun. They came in real clutch for me. I use this one more as a blending brush, like when it's a general color, or if I'm trying to sheer out a glitter that I put on with my finger, I'll use something like this to really kind of blast it up. And then the same goes with this brush. I use it also as more of a blending brush for a matte. Like if I'm doing something and I'm like, okay, it needs to be blended on the edges, I'll use this brush. And then this brush I use primarily for putting powder on my face. This is my powder brush because I was at the time I wanted something smaller for under my eye, because that was really the place where I put the least amount of powder went under my eye, the least amount of powder, because I felt like, I have all these creases under my eye all the time. I've always had creases under my eye, and I feel like when I put my concealer there, or when I put my foundation there, and sometimes through the day it kind of creases into the line, I could easily just kind of go like this, and then tap, 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 and then boop, it's done. But if I had on as much powder as maybe I had on like here where like the sweat is, or my forehead where the shine is, or like, even my cheeks where I want a more soft and matte appeal, I feel like if I use the same amount of powder from these places under my eye, I look insane. So this I felt like was nice and small, and it could just get right there, and I could just do it real gently. It was small enough but also big enough. So yeah, those are my brushes. Let's get into it. So I'm gonna go into the festivals, and I'm gonna use that orange that I'm in love with. And maybe because it's summer, these are the dog days of summer, and they call for neon colors. I don't know, but I hope this turns out okay. So this is what I wanted to do. Just get that right in there. And I use it to put matte or especially sparkle in the inner corner, because it just fits perfectly right there. It gives me just the right circumference. You can come in. Ba-bum. Oh yeah. There we go. Let's put that aside. We'll probably have to touch it up later. And let's get into what I wanted to do at the back, which is this. And I'm going to use this guy. It's dry now. I'm going to use that guy, and I'm going to go into Koro. You can come in some more. I don't know, but ooh. So I'm actually going to go to Marshall's and get makeup wipes and hand soap. And maybe a charger. Oh my. See how it went in my brain, but we have backup plan number 2 here. Perlina. All of this right now, all of that you see there, it's like, I guess, stuck to the edges, and I can't, because there's nothing in the tube. It's like, I'm trying to like I can do that. I can move it like that. I don't know if you can see that. But that's all that's left now, is the edges of this thing. Why do y'all keep complaining about being stupid? Okay. Okay. Alright, now I'm gonna try to like fill in to the orange. Okay. 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 I'm just gonna. Okay. Okay. I said I wasn't gonna do an eyeline, but it needs an eyeline because I don't know what's happening yet. Oh. Oh. I'm just gonna put a bunch of eyeliner on. And then we're gonna do this one right on top of it. Oh. This did not come out as planned. I need to do something to fix it. What if I take this part all the way in? Oh no, it got worse. Terrible. Alright, that's when experimenting goes wrong. I'm gonna go into the tribe. I'm gonna go into maybe that orange. And I'm just gonna go over top that white line. Still terrible. Alright, so then I'm gonna go into the Maasai. That was what I used over there. I'm using this over there. Over on the other side. Because why not? You know? When you've ruined your own makeup, now's the time to try all the things you'd be scared to try because it'll ruin your makeup. You know? Because your makeup's already ruined. There we go. A little neon. We're going to put it under. We're going to change that white under there. We're going to change it to neon. Now you're neon. Woo! You should do the same courtesy on the other side. Go into Oromo. That was Maasai. This is Oromo. Oromo. I don't know how to say it. And then change that into neon as well. Whee! I'm actually going to change the inside of my eye to this green. It's so perfect. Ooh. I was trying to use the Lizzie McGuire palette by ColourPop. Those ColourPop's mattes, they work for me. But some of them don't, I guess. And the mattes in there, the green, I guess, was too... I don't know. It just didn't have the right undertone to give me the look I wanted. And this one did. Alright, so now it's green on the inner corner. The green looks better. The eye still looks terrible. Just gonna put some mascara on to finish the look. Calling it a look is crazy. To finish the experiment. Because that's what it turned into. Idea turned experiment. Idea going awry. That happens a lot on this channel, actually. I'm pretty sure some of you can tell. And sometimes the experiments go well. And other times, like today, they don't. And I may or may not post it, but today I'm gonna post it. Yeah, just like that short, you have to know when to stop. And that's how I feel right now about this makeup. I'm not gonna go any farther with that. I'm gonna put on this highlight because it was part of the original plan. Just to give my face a little interest. This highlight in particular, I feel like it acts more like a tinted Vaseline than the other Fenty Beauty highlights. This is the highlight stick, the match sticks in pearl. So it gives a nice, as you can see that right there. It gives a nice effect. It gives a nice natural effect. Okay, let's do these dry ass lips and call it a day. Come on now. And we're just gonna go with this combo that I've been really loving. Also featured in the shorts. But it's Juvia's Place. Both of them are Juvia's Place. And it's just a beige gloss that I pair with that nude that turns into a matte, actually. That liquid, this one, the bronze sugar, bronze chestnut, that is a matte nude liquid lipstick. This one is a gloss. So that's them, and that's the lip. Isn't that great? Fantastic. I'm gonna say goodbye to my Stila because I'm not gonna keep scraping around the sides. It's done what it came to do. It can rest in peace. Just like me, and just like that series that was on my shorts. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I really had fun doing it. Again, you'll see the idea for my last week. You'll see that at a different point in time. Thanks for watching my hack of an idea come to fruition. It had a good starting point. Like, I like the idea of it, but my execution needs some work. Okay. Crazy. Bye. Thanks for watching, and thanks for watching my shorts, and welcome to the new people. Thanks for joining. See you again in the shorts. If that's all you watch, then you don't see this. Okay, bye. Oh. Oh.